live from all over this beautiful land. This is the Testosterone Zone with the fine men, Noel, Keith, and Steve. Take it, boys.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. It's episode 26 of the Testosterone Zone podcast. This is Noel with my bud Steve and Keith.
Hey,
what's
everybody.
up?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We've taken a little bit of time off. I know we've been last week we had some episodes kind of queued up here, and we played those, and we missed a week last week, but we all took some time and spent some time with our families and stuff, and did some traveling and stuff. So it's good to be back. I was excited to see the link come to my text tonight. So
yeah, man,
it's good to be back with you guys.
Sure is. It was a fast and furious summer, and I'm back and refreshed, and so can't wait to catch up on all of our stuff this summer.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Steve,
Steve, you made a trip back to the motherland, didn't you?
I sure did. Yeah, the wife and I, we headed back down to Texas, and it's a day flight to get down there, and about 2,500 miles one way. And I tell you, it was nice to be back. We couldn't have timed it worse with the hot weather, but you're crazy to think it's ever going to be nice in July in Texas. So.
Very true.
But it was nice. We got some shopping done, got to see family, and really just sort of go see and shop and eat at the places we miss that we can't eat at here in Juneau. And it really is. It was great to be back. Good
deal.
So you went all over the place.
Yep. We basically ran the I-35 corridor, like better terms, but. We spent a day in Austin, spent a day down San Marcos in the outlet mall, and wore out the credit cards while we were there. Then we ran up to Waco and did that Magnolia Market where the fixer-upper people started. And so, we went down there with 3 suitcases, came back with 5. And so I spent a ton of money on bag check fees and overweight luggage fees. So, we probably spent more on that than we did on the actual items we bought.
I believe that. There's no doubt. I tell you, did I tell you all? I saw the thing today on, I guess it was on Instagram, but it was basically the 747 carrying the space shuttle, and it said, if this space shuttle, or if this plane can carry a freaking spaceship, why do we have to pay for overweight baggage fees? That's so true. I feel like sometimes when you say things, it's like deja vu.
It really is.
Yeah, right. I've heard that story before.
It's like there's an echo. Speaking of Fixer Upper, Noel, it makes me think of a song. Do you know what song I'm thinking of when Steve mentioned Fixer Upper?
Yeah, I can't think. I can't quite put my finger on it, or maybe could you? No, I can.
Oh yes.
I think we should.
I remember that.
It comes back to me when Steve said, I think we should watch the next Fixer Upper or 10 episodes.
Okay, we can do that, sure.
That's a way back flashback right there,
wasn't it?
That's like episode 1. That's episode 1 or 2, isn't it? That was number 1, man.
Yeah, I think it's successfully lost all our listeners right now. They're probably like, what are they talking about? It's like a little tangent.
What is happening? I know. It's like, go back and listen to 25 so you can catch up, and then this one you're good.
Right.
Exactly. So Keith, you did a little globe hopping, right? Keith?
Who is that?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dude.
Insane. I'm just going to say what I've done is just ridiculous. So, yeah, the middle of July. So our daughter got accepted to perform with this honors group choir in Sydney, Australia. And they were able to perform at the Sydney Opera House, which was really cool. But so we spent the middle of July, we flew. And I mean, let me tell you, this is the craziness. So we thought it would be a good idea to save some money. So instead of flying from where we are to Dallas to catch the connection, right? We decided, let's drive 6 hours to Dallas. Now, this sounds like a good idea going, but it was a terrible idea coming home. And so we have a 6-hour drive. Then we fly from Dallas to LA, which is 3 hours, and then 15 hours to Sydney from LA.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, it was an entire day of travel,
Yuck.
and it was a beat down, but it wasn't. I mean, it was okay once we got there, and we had like one day that we just crashed. The jet lag kind of got to us, but it's basically tomorrow there today, right now. So it's weird, but it was Sydney. Sydney is it's a big city, and it's a newer city. Australia is kind of a newer country, and so they're still really trying, in my opinion, they're really still trying to establish their history. And I mean, they've got a lot of history that mimics a lot of England's history because of the way, it started off as an England penal colony. Sorry, and so there's a lot of statues, a lot of streets, a lot of, I mean, you'll go to places like Perth, and there's a Perth in Scotland, and there all these different areas that you go is named after something in the United Kingdom area. And so it's kind of funny, but it's a big city. It's a huge melting pot in the Southeast Asia area. So there's a lot of Thai food, all you could, we were at our hotel and we said, after about the third night of nothing but Chinese for every meal, we're like, hey, concierge, is there a place around here that maybe we can get something besides Chinese food? And this is a honest truth. He says, well, yeah, I mean, if you don't want Chinese food, there's a nice Thai food restaurant right down the street. Okay. To us, that's kind of the same thing, But
was there like a McDonald's or a Pizza Hut or anything down there?
Let me tell you, we spent a crap load of money at McDonald's and KFC. We finally discovered there was one on the side of our hotel, and like every night when we were like, we are so hungry, let's get nuggets or something. So those were our saving. I mean, I hate to sound that because I like to go to different places and eat the different food, but I was so happy to see a McDonald's. I'm not going to lie. We found a really cool Italian restaurant too. And it was really funny because I guess they just are kind of a smaller restaurant. And they were like, this week we've like tripled our profits because of y'all being in town. Like, because everybody discovered that this is the one place besides Chinese food and McDonald's you can eat good food. So they're like, we don't want y'all to leave because we've made a lot of money this week. It was really funny. So, but Sydney itself is pretty cool. It's a big city. It's kind of a dirty-ish city. It feels like it's all crammed together, even though it's so big. So, my biggest regret was that we really stayed in Sydney too long. My hope would be the next time we go, spend maybe a day or two. I would say for anybody, spend a day or two in Sydney, see the Opera House, see Darling Harbour. So there is a really cool tour that I wish we would have done. The Harbour Bridge that's there. There's actually a tour that you can actually climb the top of it. Like
really?
The scout up on the top of the suspension bridge, and it's it looked like a pretty cool deal. So I wished we could have done that, but I heard it's pretty pricey, like $200 a person.
Holy cow.
We said no, we're good. Yeah, but let me tell you that the Sydney Opera House is everything you would imagine it to be. It's insanely awesome, and just I'm not trying to get in the weeds here, but the seats even are designed to mimic a human body. They have the seats are kind of padded seats from the front and the back. So when you're rehearsing without an audience, the seat part, the cushions are supposed to mimic like the shirts or some clothing. And then the top part of the seats are wood. And what that's supposed to represent, and the sides, the arms too. And so what that's supposed to represent is somebody's face or arms. And so it's supposed to mimic a human, like if the entire theater was full of people, what the echo and the reverb would sound like if humans were actually in there. So they had even thought of it that detailed. It's pretty. I'll post a picture of these seats because I was just so fascinated with that. But anyway, what I'd like to do in the future is go up the Gold Coast, up to I'd like to go to the Great Barrier Reef or something. So Sydney's it's just I don't know. Big city is a big city to me, and I'd like to go see the country for what it is, and that's the one thing I kind of missed. Okay, so anyway. After we did Australia, then we fly back 15 hours, go to LA, go to Dallas, drive 6 hours back. I work for 4 days, and then I go to Scotland. And so there's another, of course, we were smart this time and flew from where I lived to Dallas, and then Dallas to New York. And, the great news was that while I was in New York, I saw a fight there going and coming. So I felt like I was home. But anyway, and then to Scotland. And let me just tell you, have you all ever been to Scotland?
Never.
If I ever have to choose at this point in my life, of the countries that I've seen, if I had to choose plan B, not the United States, I would live in Scotland in a heartbeat. I mean, that city, that countryside is beautiful. Everybody there, I did not have one person that had a bad day. I mean, everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's happy. We were staying in Edinburgh, and Edinburgh is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So everything has to stay, like at least the historical buildings have to stay preserved on the outside exactly like they are. And so the hotel that we stayed in was actually an old train station. It was at the Waldorf there, and the Waldorf was converted from an old train station. And even the inside, since it was a preserved heritage site, they couldn't set the ceiling of the new hotel on the top of the brick of the foundation. They actually had to put these pillars to support the ceiling, so not even they could touch the World Heritage area because they didn't want to compromise it anyway. So but anyway, it was just a fascinating place. We got to see my wife surprised me with some tickets to this Edinburgh military tattoo. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically it's a celebration of the military bands of Scotland and England. And they also have started expanding. So there was even a mariachi group from Mexico there. There was a Japanese group that did like this all women's group that did this awesome chant. It was like about this bee in a honeycomb, but it was, I mean, I can't even explain how cool it was. And then they had this drum corps that I've always wanted to see, the top secret drum corps from Switzerland. And they were there and just had an awesome performance. And so it was cool. I mean, so like I say, if y'all get to go, I highly recommend it. Got to go up to St. Andrews. It was right after the big British Open, but you could still see everything being broken down. So everything was still kind of in the pageantry mode of it, cool. So to speak. Yeah. It was really cool. What's funny is, we went to a pub and right across the street is the University of St. Andrews, and on the bottom floors there's some other pubs and restaurants there, and there was one in the sign that right across the street where we're eating that said, "This is where Will and Kate used to have lunch." Like wow. Yeah. And so it was really cool. It's like it's sickening how much history is around here. It's like you think America and the United States has history until you go a place like that, and you're like, we're so young. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? So, but anyway. Yeah, I honestly don't know what day of the week it is or what time it is, but it was awesome. So awesome. I highly recommend. Australia is a once in a lifetime thing, and I say if you go, plan several weeks there. Don't do what we did, and go see everything. But Scotland is a must do if you guys have a chance. Go. That's awesome. I mean, that place is second to nothing. That was place awesome. So Noel, your turn. You had a pretty good trip too.
Yeah, we went on a cruise, 7-day cruise. We went to it took out from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and
Puerto
Rico, and we went to St. Thomas and Aruba, Curacao, and St. Kitts, and it was very relaxing. It was probably my favorite cruise just because we'd never been to any of those ports. We've cruised a lot, but we've never been to those 5 ports before. So it was pretty neat. It was pretty neat. We had a really good time. Went with some friends of ours, and they have kids that are our kids' age, and so the kids kind of went one way, and we went with our friends and went the other way, and kind of did our own thing, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So
Curacao is a Dutch island.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It is, and
it looks cool from the pictures I've seen.
It's amazing, gorgeous. The buildings look just like the ones you see, in the Netherlands, and very, very cool. And one of the cool things they have we were walking across this bridge that connects. There's like 2 different provinces in Curacao, and we were walking over this bridge that goes from between the provinces, or it goes over this river. And we walked over past this guard station, and all of a sudden all these lights started flashing, and this gate came down, and all the locals are like running off the bridge. And so we kind of moved halfway across the bridge and turned around and looked, and it was a floating bridge. Like the bridge is actually it's a pontoon bridge, and the little guard station that we passed was like a control thing, and the bridge literally like floated downstream and made enough room for this ship to pass by it, and to pass the bridge and stuff. And then after the boat passed the bridge came back into its original location, and the guards, the thing went down, and it went back to being a regular bridge. So it was bizarre.
Is that this Queen Emma
That's
Bridge?
the one.
Is that what I'm seeing
That's
here?
the one. It's
Yeah, I'm looking at it on YouTube. That's crazy.
one of the oldest bridges. It's the oldest floating bridge. I think is built in like the early 1900s, I think, or something like that. But dude, it was cool. That was to me the one of the coolest things in the whole trip. And we didn't even go there to see that. We just happened to walk across it whenever it happened.
Right.
But yeah, that was cool. But well, we had a good time. I slept a lot, relaxed a lot. It was much needed time away. So
That's awesome.
So tell me about St. Kitts. I'd like to hear about that one.
We went snorkeling in St. Kitts and went and saw some. I actually saw, it was pretty cool. We were snorkeling, and one of the guys with us goes, "Hey, dude, check this out. There's like squid down there." And I've snorkeled before, but I've never seen a squid out in the wild. And sure enough, there were 3 squids, and they were just right next to each other, kind of swimming along, just kind of a leisurely pace. And he went down there and kind of spooked them a little bit. And man, those things can flat out move when they want to.
Wow.
And they went from like point A to point B and like nothing flat. So it was pretty neat. But saw barracuda and we saw sea turtle and stuff like that, and we saw a whole bunch of stuff. But St. Kitts was awesome. We didn't stay there nearly long enough. I wanted to stay there longer, but it's gorgeous, just really, really pretty. So and Aruba was neat. We had a blast there, and St. Thomas got hit hard by the hurricane, and one of the locals there said they were without power for 161 days.
Wow.
I couldn't even.
I can't either. And
especially in that hot, humid climate.
It's miserable, man. I can't even imagine. So she said she lost her dog to the heat because they couldn't do anything to keep it out of the heat, and he was miserable. So but she said it was pretty bad. So, and it's still recovering, still see a lot of the damage and stuff. And there's, several of the hotels are still not open yet and everything. But anyway, yeah, it was a neat trip though. I mean, aside from that, we had a really good time.
Now,
so
what you were on a Royal Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
What ship were you on?
We were on the Freedom of the Seas.
Okay. So that you're a Royal Caribbean pretty big fan. How, I know you and I, when we went, we were on Liberty. So of the ships that you've seen, how did this one stack up?
I really like this one. It's probably a need for an update. Like we've sailed on it before, about 4 or 5 years ago. And it was a good it's a good ship. Don't get me wrong, but there's some things on it that you're like, yeah, they could probably update the carpet, or they could update this or the art or something. It just is time for an
show
update.
Its age a little.
Yeah, a little bit. Because we've been on like the Allure, and we've been on some of the other newer ships and stuff, and I mean those are just state of the art, amazing ships. And this one probably is it's about time for it to be updated. So, but food was amazing. Service is always impeccable on Royal Caribbean. So, I mean, it's just really good time. So,
I tell you, I love cruising. The thing I love about it is, my family is we struggle as a family to find things that we all enjoy because we're all so different. And I think that's what I love about cruising is that everybody can spread out and do what they want to do, and we feel like everything's safe.
Yep.
And it's it's the way. I mean, even we were Australia, we all agreed it's like our family is a cruising family, and that's really what we need to start focusing on for our trips. Because my wife and I went to Scotland just alone, just a couple's trip, so that was worth it. Like she and I, we're never going to be able to retire because we have nothing saved up because we just like to travel, right? So, but it's worth it, and we can do pretty much anywhere. But when the kids are involved, it's a little bit different because. We've got one that likes to kind of have some time by herself, not to worry about to kind of get overly, sensitized. And, my son likes to go and be, just always, very, very active. And so it's, and then another one likes a lot of culture. And so it's completely three different opposite things. And so that's what's nice about the cruise ship is, we usually get 2 rooms. So that way the girls are in one and me and the boy are in the other. And that way, if they need to go have downtime, we've got that. If somebody wants to do the wave flow rider or whatever, they can do that. And, and you'll probably catch me in the all you can eat pizza place. I'm just saying.
I'm right there with you, bro.
But speaking of retrofitting, I heard even the Oasis, even though that's a new ship, I think it just finished dry dock with an update. So I guess they're really trying to be aggressive with updating their ships recently.
Yeah. I think.
Did you go to their island?
No, not on this one. We went on
because I've heard they're really doing some stuff on that too.
Are they really? We went to one of the island, the one that they have, I think near the Bahamas. Was pretty cool when we were there. It's been several years though since we've been there, but it's pretty.
Google it because the proposed changes that they're doing looks awesome.
Really? Huh.
I think I don't know if I've mentioned my wife is a travel agent type person for this Disney kind of club, but they also do Royal Caribbean, and she got this update on this island. They're gonna. I think it's a $20 million renovation or something. It's a big deal.
Wow.
May even be bigger than that, but it's going to look cool when it's done.
Huh.
So
I need to check that out. We're big fans of the cruises, and I think you put it well, man. It's like it's got a little bit of anything. It's kind of there's enough stuff for everybody to find something they enjoy doing, or if they don't want to do anything, they don't have to. You can just stay in your room and sleep. Right. I did a lot of that. Yeah. So.
Totally. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I was off by a zero. Here's a news article from March. Royal Caribbean is building a $200 million.
Wow, that's capital right there.
Wow. Yeah. No kidding. Yeah. Hey, Steve, you've never cruised.
Not at all. And you've never owned a smoker.
Oh, I know. So we both suck in our own way. Yeah. I walked right into that one.
That was fun.
It's something that we both need to experience. No, I'll bring my smoker when you go on a cruise. We'll hang out on the balcony.
There you go. No, we definitely look forward to having our cruise. I'm not sure that my wife's done a cruise either, so she may have done one as a teenager or something. But I hear nothing but great things. I know the two of you are extremely avid cruise goers, whatever the terminology is, and so I'm definitely interested. We'd like to do it.
Yeah,
we gotta take a group trip. I'm just saying, we just really.
We should go do a cruise in Alaska because
that would be awesome. Yeah, nothing like going to a cruise to see your hometown. Oh, that's good.
Next time we'll go through a cruise in the Gulf of Mexico too. Just.
One thing I was thinking about while we were talking about our vacations is, I thought at some point we'd run into somebody from Louisiana on our vacation so we could tell them about our podcast. I mean,
jerks.
I even had a link to our episode on a card ready to hand to one of them. I couldn't find anybody.
I guess Louisiana shouldn't leave the state. I mean,
well, I decided to just throw it away because I figured they couldn't read it anyway.
They'll never know that you insulted them.
I kid.
Yeah, really.
I kid.
Because they can't listen to the podcast.
You can't insult somebody that doesn't hear you. So it's okay.
That's true.
That's right.
That is true.
I appreciate you guys. Glad you all had a safe and fun summer.
Yeah.
Glad you got to come home for a little while, Steve, see the family. Noel, I'm glad you had a restful vacation. I've got to say, now I need a nap because I'm tired. But I'm glad that we all had a successful trip. It's great that we all had a good time. We all got back safe. So I was really excited to hear about y'all's summer. So
well, guys, I definitely appreciate our listeners taking a moment to listen to us talk about our vacations, brag just a little bit. And the best thing about taking a vacation, it really just sort of recharges and gets us ready for more of these episodes to come ahead. And we certainly appreciate everybody listening. Guys, I'm glad y'all had a great vacation, and I needed mine, and hope everybody that's listening had a great vacation as well.
Absolutely. It's good to be back.
Yeah, man. Sure. It's good to be back. And listeners, if you guys had a killer vacation, let us know about it.
Exactly.
Good talk. Okay.
Speechless.
Was that the wrong thing to say?
that brought a tear to my eye there.
I know, right?
Where's the piano when you need it?
I know, right?
There we go. Say that again. So your vacation again.
Yeah. Next vacation, fix your upper you.
That moment of silence wasn't even edited in. That was legit. Like, that was real.
I know. It really was.
Totally legit. Awkward silence. We do it better than anybody else.
Isn't that the truth? It's like, Keith, that was a terrible idea. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. Oh.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you on episode 27 when we talk about some sports. We can't wait.
This is the one that we've been waiting for, right, Noel?
Yeah, it is. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay, guys.
Bye.
Hey, thanks again for listening to the Testosterone Zone. We sure had a blast visiting with you. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe, leave us some feedback, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
All Testosterone Zone podcast episodes are written and produced by Noel, Keith, and Steve unless otherwise noted.
The opinions expressed in the Testosterone Zone podcast are our own and not those of our employers, families, parents, kids, dogs, cats, your mom, or any other entity Noel, Keith, or Steve are affiliated with now, in the past, or in the future, or ever.